continues, as Nipsey used to say, and we're back with another episode of the Ambitious Fizz podcast. This time I got one of my really good friends. You know, obviously you guys know that the Ambitious Fizz podcast is all about connecting with like-minded individuals, and ambitious has always been more than fitness. You guys always known that. One of the hobbies that me and this special guest have in common is we both love real estate, and he's here with us. We're here at his office in Rancho. My good buddy, a top real estate producer, home loan expert, entrepreneur, and investor, my buddy Kevin Estrada, bro. Welcome to the Ambitious Fizz podcast.
Hey, Pablo. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Nah, definitely, man. I'm excited to get this thing going, man. And honestly, what I kind of want to just dive right into is obviously you're a real estate expert, but I'm sure it wasn't always that way, And
right.
For anybody that's out there, I mean, we want to get to know why is Kevin Estrada, why does he have the buzz right now in the IE? Who is Kevin and where does he come from, man?
All right. So, my name is Kevin. I am a 26-year-old in Rancho Cucamonga right now. Actually, recently moved to Rancho because I'm actually from Pomona. I grew up in Pomona. Went to school out there, all the way through high school. I was a nerdy little kid.
No way.
Nerdy little kid. I was short, dark, really quiet.
So when you talk about nerdy, what does that mean? Because were you like a super book smart dude? Like where'd you go to school?
Okay, so I went to a school called Yorba, and then I moved to Decker, then Laura Beer, then Diamond Ranch. What I mean by nerdy is I was pretty book smart. I didn't really show that to the world. I was very to myself. I had friends, but I wasn't like the cool kid or anything like that. I was always just hanging out with whatever crowd was there.
Right.
I was really shy. I'm actually still really shy, so I'm surprised I'm doing a podcast right now because normally I don't like to speak. But yeah, right after high school, I kind of did my own thing. Left to college. I left to Cal State LA. I really wanted to be a plastic surgeon. That was the dream. But then, stuff happened. I didn't like biology, and then I was like, I need a class. I needed to be full time, so I ended up picking up a real estate class.
Okay.
So I picked up a real estate class. I ended up liking it. I got a minor in it, and one of my really good buddies had invited me over to this real estate training seminar in a real estate company that was starting in Pomona. So I went on a Saturday morning. I remember it started at 8 a.m. and I had not seen my buddy in a couple of years. So it was kind of like a reconnecting with us. And we sat in this room and it was literally just us two and this guest speaker. The guest speaker was kind of expiring and all that good stuff. And he had a cool family and they were like, you should get your real estate license. And I was like, okay, cool.
Now, was this like an event? You said it was like an event?
It was an event, yeah. So
okay.
It was supposed to be like a seminar, so it was just a big room, chairs everywhere, and a presentation.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I just knew that it was something about real estate, and my friend was gonna do it, and I trusted my friend, and I was like, okay, let's just do it. So I went, and that was really what got me into real estate. I had thought about it in the past. I was already taking a class in college about it, but I think that was really what really pushed it because after that, I kept going to those seminars for a good 2 years.
So let me to get this right. So eventually, at first, you first wanted to become. Obviously, you were so into school and you were in this space of learning all the time, right? At first, just like a lot of people, whether I know in the beginning of college or whatever, you start studying for something and it doesn't hit, right? For example, right. Your story, you said you wanted to become a plastic surgeon or in the medical field, but that's a big jump over to real estate. Those are two completely different industries.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because I know there's going to be a lot of people that go through that same, time in their lives. I went through it, at some point in my life as well. But was there something inside of you that how could I say it changed your perspective other than just the seminar? But you know what I mean? What was it about real estate that really you gravitated towards?
I mean, I've always had like some type of fascination for real estate. It wasn't necessarily like the business, but it was, you know, seeing the cool houses and stuff like that. I enjoy architecture. That's like one of my hobbies.
Okay.
So being around the houses and stuff was cool to me at the time. I didn't have plans to be a real estate agent, but as I attended the seminars, you know, I saw potential in it, the money, you know, that we saw, and obviously that was great.
Yeah, the money's always
The
great.
money's great.
Yeah.
But I would say it was one of those things that I fell in love with as I was doing. In the beginning, I wasn't really like, oh my God, I love real estate. But it was like, you know, it was chill. It was paying the bills at that time.
Right.
But it wasn't always pretty because there was a moment in my life where I was like not enjoying that real estate. So it was a learning curve. It was definitely a learning curve.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, really just like kind of like anything in life, right? It's that first, first 6 months, 6 months, year, whatever the case may be. Like
2 years.
2 years.
It 2 years. It took 2 years.
So 2 years to finally get the business up and going. But what challenges did you kind of face, and did you really kind of like overcome? Because everybody has a story that they kind of overcame some type of fear, some type of adversity.
Pretty much the challenge for me was, honestly, it wasn't necessarily doing the business because that was easy to me. The challenge to me was in the beginning for the first 2 years. I mean, I was like 21. I looked like a kid.
Yeah.
So the challenge was having, you know, someone that's older wanting to buy a house from a kid. That's what it was like.
That's a big challenge.
So I had to like really rebrand myself to be this person that looked older, acted older, hung out with older people, to be able to fit in and make it. Not saying that it's impossible for a 21-year-old to do it, but for me and my personal experience, it was just, that was a challenge. Now, with that challenge caused me to not have income, and I was so persistent on not getting another job. So I went like broke, like negative in my bank accounts, credit shot.
And now I'm sure that's an easy time where you're like, oh, you know what, fuck this, I'm switching industries, right?
Oh yeah,
for a lot of people.
I almost did. I almost went back to school. I became a high school substitute teacher here in Fontana School District just to start making some money, because I mean it was like on call type of thing. So whenever I didn't have anything in real estate, I would go do that to kind of keep up with my bills. But there were some pretty dark times when I first started.
Yeah, man. It's crazy that you kind of talk about that, because right now, currently I'm in that transition, and it's been, just like you kind of said, it's been, 6 months, a year, going on to 2, where, I used to be a personal trainer. You actually used to be one of my clients, and we'll kind of dive into that a little bit later on. But that transition is something that I think a lot of people have to go through at some point in their lives. You know what I mean? Whether it be, from growing up from boy to man, or just from like different changing industries. Would you say that that's probably accurate as well?
Yeah, I would definitely say that's accurate. I feel like I grew up really quick. I feel like at this point in my life, I'm like 35, 36 years old, and I'm really just 26.
Damn.
That's how I feel.
That's crazy, bro. I actually didn't know you were 26. You're my age. We're the same age.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. I didn't know that. I always thought you were like a little bit older than me, but I didn't know we were the same age. See, you learn something new every day. And yeah, man, I mean, that's crazy, because when I start thinking about, when we were training, right, I would always be like, damn, we connected through a mutual friend. And, you were actually one of the few people that I knew very well in the real estate industry when I was training. I didn't really know too many real estate professionals. Mm-hmm. And something that I've always just absolutely admired about you is how laser focused you've been, right? Yeah. To be successful in anything, you have to be absolutely all in and 100% laser focused. Where does that stem from? Is that something that you kind of learned as a kid? Were you always laser focused?
I've always been laser focused. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I mean, my parents, they've always put that mentality in me, be laser focused. My sister's the same way. The only difference between us two is I'm an entrepreneur. She likes more of the corporate world and stableness and stuff like that.
Right.
But I think me really just always being like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Or being on edge is like something that gets me high. And I think that's what keeps me focused. I mean, I don't have any responsibilities besides my own expenses. I don't have a family or kids or anything. So I think it's just something that was always has been naturally in me. But what really brought it out was when I like literally hit ground zero.
And that was when you said you were kind of like you were in that transition. You were, you had to get another job and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much 2 years of like being broke. My friend Daisy was actually making my car payment for like a good minute.
Hey man, shout out to Daisy for that. That's a real best friend right there. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, she was making my car. It was that bad.
Damn, I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane. Now, talk about like what nuggets could you kind of give to somebody that's out there that may be listening to this that is going through this same exact transition. You know what I mean? They're transitioning industries or they're transitioning their life, and they kind of feel like giving up. You were in that position. What nuggets could we give to them that you experienced that help you get out of it and staying persistent, staying ambitious, right? Keeping that mentality like I could do this.
Yeah. I would say that you really just have to be focused. Like focus on yourself first and focus on getting yourself to be better, or just think of something like, I say like what's your why? What really think about, why is it that you're doing what you're doing? And I also think that you have to love it. Like if you don't love it, then maybe it's just not for you.
Right.
I love it. I love what I do. Like I wake up every morning and I don't even see it like I'm going to work. I'm literally seeing it as I'm gonna go hang out with my best friends at work, and
you're having a lot of fun.
And
'Cause
we're
I see
having
you
a
on
lot of
IG.
fun.
I see you doing your thing. You guys are traveling. You guys are in the office. The culture here is amazing. Yeah, man. I think definitely finding your why and having fun is something that could really help you, because I'm sure just like you kind of went through, like when you want to give up, you have to understand. I tell everybody, you have to know your why. And if your why is strong enough, that's what's going to keep you going.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely what keeps me going, and I feel like that's something that that keeps everybody here going as well. That I'm surrounded with. It's a lot of it plays with who you hang out with, and I hang out with people that are like minded, and that's it.
That's you hit it spot on, man. And let's transition a little bit into, obviously we're talking about the office. We're talking about the amazing culture that you guys have here, but people obviously can't see where we're at. Tell us a little bit about the office. Tell us a little bit about the brand and what you guys do specifically here and how it's a little bit different from everybody else.
So our office is a very unique office. It's very interesting. It's very loud. We are a younger real estate office. Everybody here is ranging from 23 to about 35 years old. Um, some of the cool things about us is that we are I would say like a night office. Usually our office starts to, get full around 5 o'clock till 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Most of our agents, well, actually all of our agents, we have 35 on the roster right now. And I would say 97% of them had no experience in the business. They came
Wow.
here and got licensed. And actually, we were just talking about it like 2 days ago. Every single agent on our roster right now has sold a home at least.
Wow.
So it's something that we're very proud of, because typically what happens is, an agent doesn't sell any real estate for like the first year. So we really focus on finding an agent that's a good fit for us. We're a lot more selective now with who comes into our office and who we decide to train, because we're looking for people that are like-minded like us, but also enjoy having a good time, because that's also very important. We don't want a boring office. Boring atmosphere creates an atmosphere that people don't want to work in. So that's what makes us different.
It's definitely all about energy, and that's definitely something that I've always felt coming here to your guys' office. It's so bright. The energy is amazing. I mean, the people that you have here have always been so welcoming, and I just absolutely love that. Now, I know that, like you said, who you surround yourself with is huge,
Mhm.
right? But, being a 26-year-old, real estate professional, entrepreneur, business owner as well, for the people that may not know, like you have your own or I should say, you and your partner also have your own brand within the industry.
Correct. Yeah. So me and Kenny, it's funny how we like started this brand. Me and Kenny at first didn't really know each other. The way we met was through a cross qualification. So I was with the previous real estate company, and I had representing a buyer. I submitted an offer for one of his agents listing, and Kenny basically disqualified my client. And he told me that the lender that had pre-qualified my client, pretty much messed up. And luckily, my Kenny, I was like, well, if this guy knows what he's doing, then I should just start giving him my loans. And then, we started hanging out. Kenny's older than me, but something about us two just clicked, and we just been doing it since then. And mode happened, and it went from there just by itself.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about that partnership with Kenny, because I like I tell everybody, I have a partnership with a lot of you guys may know Adrian, and having that partnership with somebody that's like-minded that could really bring balance to your life, but also, it's very important when you partner in with somebody, whether you're doing a business venture or a relationship or anything, they got to balance you out. You know what I mean? So I'm sure there's been times, can you talk about some of the times that in the beginning when you guys were kind of starting out your partnership?
Yeah, so pretty much the way our partnership really began was we were, how did it go? Okay, so I was working with one of my real estate friends. It was actually on Halloween Day, and there was a trunk or treat. And, we wanted to like try to get business, and we wanted to have a lender there. And we were like, okay, why don't we invite Kenny? Because Kenny, I had already had some contact with him when he disqualified my client. So Kenny,
You were like, yeah, this guy, I don't know about this guy probably.
so yeah, so we were like, let's invite him. Let's see, how he can help us out. So he came over, and Kenny came in a suit and everything, looking all flashy and
That's
glamorous.
Kenny. That's Kenny
Very
from
Kenny.
afar. Yeah, very Kenny.
Very Kenny. And we decided to meet up for lunch one day after that, and we actually went to go have Mod Pizza,
Okay.
the MOD.
Okay.
And we were just like eating pizza, and we are like, you know what, let's just like start a team. Like, let's just do it. And well, I was like, okay. Because for some reason I always had like this attraction of agents that followed me through every real estate company I was going with. And Kenny was so persistent on me doing loans. He's like, you have to do loans. And I was like, no, Kenny, it's not for me. I'm just pure real estate. He was like, all right, whatever, we'll see. So we literally just filed a DBA. We called it Mode Estates. It just happened the way it is. Honestly, I think the way we came up with the name, because one, there was like an influence on Mod Pizza because it was MOD.
Okay. Shout out to Mod Pizza then.
And we were also watching, I was actually watching, I don't know why I was watching it, but I was watching Ugly Betty with somebody, and their fashion brand is called Mode.
Okay.
And I didn't want to call like Mode Homes or anything, so we came up with Mode Estates, and we came up with the logo that had like a double E, which was representing, my initials. So we did it. We started a team, and we were in this little office. Actually, that's right next to the suite right over.
Wow.
It's 2 small offices, and we just started recruiting agents, having meetings, till it got to the point where, we didn't fit.
So you eventually, but basically what you're saying is that you guys outgrew it.
We outgrew it.
You outgrew it. Now, talk to me a little bit about the process of starting your own, agency and brand, because everybody right now is in the space of self-branding, right? Nobody wants to work for the big man. Mm-hmm. And something that, I've also admired so much about you guys the last couple of years that I've, been around is I've seen your guys' brand just absolutely explode. I remember then there was just a couple agents back in the day. Mm-hmm. And now you said you're like at 30 something agents. And, what is that process like for somebody that kind of wants to start their own agency?
Honestly, in the beginning, the way it first started, the process was pretty easy because I had already had a lot of connections with real estate agents. So when they found out that we were starting our own brand, they kind of just followed in. Everybody that we got after that was people that wanted to get in the business through like Instagram, or past clients that saw the business and when we sold them a home, and then they became real estate agents. So as far as somebody, like the advice I would have, like, you just, same thing, have to be consistent with the brand, post for the brand, and then just keep everybody happy. Like if we know we do our best to keep the agents as happy as we can. Of course, our splits is what pretty much keeps everybody here because we have awesome splits. Um, but
I'm just gonna go ahead. We didn't really prepare for that, but is that something that we could kind of share, or is that something that you would much rather just have the agent kind of contact you guys, personally?
I just know that they're pretty awesome splits.
Okay,
So you can
all right.
contact me.
So if you're a real estate agent out there and you want to, start earning a little bit more on your sales and stuff like that, I would definitely hit up Kevin and their team over here. Now let's kind of circle back to that conversation with Kenny. I think something that's definitely worked for me, and I could kind of see that it's worked for you from afar, especially us young entrepreneurs in the space of, real estate, fitness, branding in general, marketing, it's the power of mentorship is so important. Now, Kenny's I don't know him too well just yet, but from what it looks like, I mean, the guy's a freaking beast. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
and would you be able to kind of give your 2 cents on the power of mentorship and how he's kind of, helped you come up as a top producer in the industry?
I mean, definitely Kenny's a great mentor. The thing that at first it was like a love-hate type of thing with Kenny because Kenny was tough. He was a very tough mentor. I was actually his second loan officer in the office. So he was training another girl, but it was like tough love the way he mentored me. He isn't the type of person that gives you the answer. He teaches you how to be self-sufficient and get the answer. So I think for that really pushed me to learn the business. One, it pushed me to be able to know how to do the business with just a piece of paper and a pen. I can literally pre-qualify somebody on a napkin.
Wow, that's crazy.
And he taught me how not to rely on people. So just in that, I feel like the mentoring wasn't necessarily, this is how you do this is how you do that. It was more like how would you say it, like not like a self-evaluation of myself, but like
he put you to think, right?
Put me to think.
Yeah.
He put me to think. He makes you think about literally how you think.
So it's maybe he has more of like a psychological type approach.
Yeah, it's like a psychological type of thing. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it.
But he made you think, and obviously,
he's making me thinking about it.
That's crazy, man. Now, it's crazy when you surround yourself with the right people. They immediately start to elevate your life. Correct. And something I just learned about you that I honestly really didn't even know was that, you were a 21-year-old agent. Mm-hmm. You knew your why. You knew that you wanted to be in real estate. You knew that obviously the money was good, but you were able to surround yourself, and that's something that you recognized early on, and that's something that I absolutely admire about you, man, because I look at your circle of influence and I'm like, man, I sit back sometimes and I'm like, man, this guy is just absolutely killing the game. He's got a brand, he's driving around in the sickest cars, and how for a real estate agent that's coming up right now, or maybe they're thinking about becoming an agent, you know what I mean? What tips would you have for them aside from just the generic, go get your license? My question is more like, how do I know that the right fit with me is being with Mode and being with Stigler and what you guys do over here? I know that was like a very like deep type question.
Okay. I mean, well, knowing if you're a right fit with Mode is really gonna just, the way you're gonna know is if you really just sit down and think about it, and you're thinking like, am I the type of person that's efficient, self-efficient, doesn't depend on anybody else? Then you're a right fit. We're gonna give you the tools to succeed, but we're gonna make you think on how you can use these tools to succeed. We're not just gonna be like, okay, go call 100 people. What if there's a better way of calling 100 people? We're gonna, give you ideas.
And one of those things that I know that you guys do is that you guys run, if I'm not mistaken, I think you guys run like weekly mentorships or like coaching meetings and stuff like that, right?
Yes. So we do have we actually just our first one again since the whole pandemic thing happened. It's gonna be this coming Monday at 7. But yeah, we have like it's very intro to real estate where we teach you the basics, where we teach you, how to get started in the business, and we teach you, how to keep the business going and give you, we collaborate and brainstorm off each other, and Kenny's there, and their top producers are there, and it's more like not necessarily like a training, but it's more like a workshop between each other, that we use with each other, to really just brainstorm. And like a cool thing about our office is that everybody shares their ideas. We're not in competition with each other. We're a team. We want everybody to make money. There's enough business for everybody here. So
Yeah.
That's what makes it different. So like if you feel like you're a team player and you're committed to it, 'cause that's another thing. If you're not committed, like I'm not gonna waste our time. You don't want to waste
Yep.
your time. Like you
100%.
have to be committed. Like
Gotta be all into what you're doing, man.
all into it.
Yeah.
Maybe not even all into it. You could be like 90% into it, and then we can be that 10% to like help you, and you'll get there. Because that was me. I wasn't all into it at first either.
Right.
And that's something that we're open to, but we're not a half-ass type of office.
Right.
You know.
Right. No, that's and you could tell. You could tell, man, for sure. Now, I kind of want to switch over a little bit to the other side of real estate because we touched on your story. We touched on, the brand that you guys have built here, the community, the amazing community that you guys have built here. But if I'm not mistaken, you're going to start getting into a little bit more. I know you recently just purchased a home here in the Inland Empire. And now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we were talking the other day, like you're going to start investing into some real estate. You're going to start, I think you have like a Airbnb or something like that.
Yeah, so pretty much, yeah. I mean, I bought my home about 6 months ago here in the IE, and I mean, the next steps for me are pretty much just continue buying more properties, and invest in it. So yeah, so I just recently, I'm about to close on another home in Palm Springs,
Nice.
and the goal with that is just get some money, make some money, and just keep building my portfolio of homes.
Man, that's amazing, man. Now, talk to us a little bit about the benefits, I guess, of investing into real estate because there's a lot of different types of investors. There's people that like the stock market. There's people that like, for example, let's say life insurance, and then there's people that have built massive wealth on real estate. You know what I mean? What would you say are like the benefits of investing into real estate?
I would say that the benefits would be, you have long-term returns. So, eventually, like if you want to have some type of cash flow and not work anymore, because I mean, at least one of my goals is to travel the world.
Right.
So that's just, one of the benefits for me is cash flow without me having to do real estate. It's a little bit of a, it gives you a little bit of a regular income type of thing. I feel
Right.
to me, it's almost like if I'm like on salary, kind of.
Yeah, just being able to have your money kind of work for you. You're already in the industry. You already kind of understand it a little bit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that's huge.
Exactly.
Now let's transition into a little bit more about Kevin's life. You know what I mean? Something I have a mentor that tells me, whenever you're talking to somebody, what's your favorite subject to talk about? And it's it's you. You know what I mean? So you mentioned a little bit of travel, places that you travel to, places that you want to travel to.
Places that I want to travel to, the world. I would literally want to go everywhere.
Okay.
But I would say, like, once everything's over with this pandemic, the place I really, really want to go to is India.
What's in India?
I don't know.
Just want to go?
I just want to go. I just want to go. I feel like everything is so cool about their culture, and I love Indian food, and it's just great. I don't know why it calls. I feel like I'm like Indian or something.
Okay, that's interesting, man. I think travel is definitely, now that we're coming out of this pandemic, I think it's one of the things that a lot of people want to do. And I say travel because I think that's on everybody's bucket list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the power of investing into real estate, investing in general, will give you that luxury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of the things I feel like that's a little bit different with me, though, when I travel, is that when I travel, but experience what it's like to live there. So I'm not necessarily traveling and like staying at the most luxurious place. I'm like literally like staying somewhere that's like how they live. Like, for example,
Damn, that's pretty
like,
tight, yeah.
you know, like, it could be like, I don't know, like, I don't know where, but like, if I have to
Say Palm
stay,
Springs. Say Palm Springs, right?
I mean, Palm Springs, like, I mean,
Well,
yeah.
that's traveling within Southern California, but you get the message.
Yeah, like, if, for example, like, if I was to go to, like, let's say, Hawaii or something,
Okay.
and, seeing how they live over there, or, I want to experience how they live. Like, I'm not necessarily going to the resort. I just want to live their everyday life.
That's yeah, man. I think when I went to Mexico a few years back, and being able to experience, I think that's so cool. Being able to experience like how people live the everyday lives.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the coolest things. When I was going to school in San Diego, yeah, I was going to school down there, but I didn't really get to like enjoy the living as much. And this, last year I moved down there for a few months. I was able to really experience it. And my goal is honestly to go back over there, because just like you said, like when you're able to live and really see the lifestyle, who knows, it might take you somewhere else, and you might be able to meet somebody that is in your industry. And something that I see you do a lot, talking about travel, is that you don't only do real estate here in Rancho and, the IE. We were just talking a little bit before we got
Correct.
started. You're about to shoot up to Fresno, right?
Correct. Yeah. I don't know. I have like a lot of people hitting me up to do real estate all over California, and like, if I can help out, of course, I will do the best I can to help out. So yeah, so I had somebody hit me up to help them with the transaction in Fresno, and we got it done just within 2 trips.
Business just kind of takes you up there.
Business just kind of takes me up there, and I take advantage. That's kind of like my getaway, and I take advantage to like, stop by, see my family on the way, because I have family up north.
Nice.
And so it's like, I mix business with pleasure, family visits, and I think honestly that's what makes it fun, because I mean, I know like on social media it seems like I'm really, really working all the time, and I get so many messages saying like, do you ever take a break?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, I take a break. Like, I'm not literally just sitting here on my laptop or my desk all day. That's boring. I have to get out. And of course, part of the business in real estate is to get out and meet people. And that's one of the opportunities that I have, to go up north and meet people.
And you bring something up that is so freaking important, man, is that, you mentioned earlier, you were more of a shy person.
Mm-hmm.
And real estate, like, I mean, obviously you just proved that you could be shy and still make it.
Correct.
Right? But like, how could you, because you just said networking is so important, you got to be talking to people. How did you do it? Because you said you were shy.
Yeah. So I mean,
even
I'm
now, like, this is like, this
shy.
might be the first time that anyone even hears you talk. If they don't know you.
You know what? It was actually funny because Kenny just posted a video on his Instagram like about 2-3 weeks ago. And it was honestly one of the very first videos I've ever posted. Well, he posted it and I reposted it.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, people don't know really who I am besides a picture or a boomerang on Instagram.
Yeah. I have a buddy that says a picture's worth 1,000 words. That means a video's worth 1,000,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like but pretty much the way I overcame it was just being confident in who I was. I mean, I was becoming confident in, the person I was becoming. I mean, I feel confident now to, talk to you about real estate and everything, but like even talking through the microphone, I'm still kind of like a little nervous.
Hey, man, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about breaking out of your comfort zone. I mean, I was coming over here and I was like, I'll be honest, this is all about transparency. I was even a little nervous. I was telling you guys, like, I took some pre-workout this morning and I was shaking a little bit, but it's like, it's all about breaking out of that comfort zone. And it's all about being able to, put yourself in an uncomfortable position, right?
Yeah, and that's something that you pretty much hit on the nail. Like, I'm always out of my comfort zone now. Yeah. Before I wasn't, but being out of my comfort zone, I think, is what really made my life the way it is now.
Yeah, man, that's so freaking important. And now that we start to transition into a little bit of more of the mindset, breaking out of your comfort zone. When we kind of first started training, right? You weren't really too comfortable, but something that I kind of see that's very, common with real estate agents, people in the real estate community, is that they just absolutely love to work out. And if is that something that is part of the routine? Like, is that something that's part of your routine?
You know what? Working out for me has always been like a constant struggle. I don't know why.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know.
It's I know it's so important, but it's like it's almost, I wouldn't say an inconvenience to my day, but it's kind of an inconvenience to my day. But then again, that's something that I'm working on. I'm not perfect. It's not like I just magically wake up every day looking picture ready, you know. You have to work at it, and it's one of those things that I'm working on. I would ideally love to be that person that wakes up at 5 a.m. and goes to the gym and is all handy dandy.
All right, say no more. I'm gonna be at your door next, Monday morning at 6 a.m. I'm freaking get your ass out of bed, go work out.
I will throw something at you if you would do that.
Man, I remember when we used to train, we would have like an appointment like 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that. You wouldn't show up till like 8:15. I'd be like, Kevin, where your ass at? You know what I mean? That's funny. Nah, but I love that, man. And you hit it right on the money. Everybody's working on something, whether it be, internally on your business, and that's so important, man. And, as we start to kind of wrap up here, is there anything that you could kind of share with the audience, whether it be personal development, a book, something to do, something that they could work on, like, because you overcame, adversity. You know what I mean? And you had that strong desire, and that's what the Ambitious Fist podcast is about, man. Is about, having that strong desire to succeed, and you succeed. You've been successful. You're going to continue to succeed, and of course, you're gonna hit obstacles, but you're gonna overcome them. So, is there anything that you could kind of share with, people out there, that maybe we didn't talk about, something that they don't know about you?
I would say that it's not, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like I just magically woke up and became like this real estate producer. It's something that takes time. It's taken 5 years. I mean, I'm 5 years in, and you just it's just simple as not giving up.
Just don't give up, right?
Just don't give up.
Stay consistent. Don't give up.
It's like Nike. Just do it.
Just do
like just do it. Like when I say I'm gonna do something, I just do it. Like period.
Yeah.
Except the gym.
Except the gym. Well, we're gonna work on that.
But that's something we're working on. I'm not perfect.
We have Sebastian here in the office, and I know he has a fitness background. Obviously, shout out to Bash. I'm gonna talk to Sebastian. We're gonna start getting Kevin into the gym and a little bit more consistent. So you can go ahead and promise that. So I'm gonna hold you to it, and every time you say you want to give up, I'm gonna bring this part of the podcast up to you, man.
Yeah.
Nah, man. But other than that, Kevin, I want to just go ahead and thank you for the time. I know you have a busy day. You're about to head out to Fresno, and you got your agents here in the office, and you guys are doing your thing, man. But again, I just want to go ahead and thank you. And for anybody out there that wants to go ahead and get in contact with Kevin, and they feel like they can relate with this message, seasoned agent or loan officer or not, how could they reach you? How could they get in contact with you?
You can reach me on Instagram. My Instagram is the Kevin Estrada, THE Kevin Estrada. Or you can also text me, email me. My phone number and email is on my Instagram. Or you can even message Pablo, call Pablo. Pablo knows exactly where to find me. He's everywhere, doing his thing.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And I did notice that you said the Estrada with a little accent. So I'm guessing, see, there it is. So I'm guessing that, you also bilingual. So for anybody out there that has parents or family or friends that need somebody to translate their transaction in Spanish and help them in Spanish, that's something that you could definitely help them with as well, right?
Definitely. Cool. I'm fluent, but I have an accent, but
just like anybody, man. It's
that's
not
what
perfect.
makes it unique.
Yeah, that's what makes it unique, man. So again, guys, for everybody that's out there, want to become a real estate agent, thinking about being a real estate investor, entrepreneur, getting in the space, being in business for yourself, this is definitely the guy to talk to. He could share his nuggets, share exactly how he's done it. You know, just like anybody else out there, like we don't all have it all figured out, but you know, kind of like how Kevin said, it's about surrounding yourself with the right people, the right team, and ultimately just staying consistent and taking action, man. And that's something that I've always admired about you, the focus and everything. So, again, Kevin, thank you so much for the time as we start to wrap up here. Thank you so much for the time, and you know, good luck on the trip, on the business trip. Go close some more deals.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
No, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Ambitious Fist podcast. Just a quick reminder to everybody, you know, out there listening to this. You know, we say it all the time. You know, share it with a friend, share it with your family, share it with, you know, your audience if you can. We really greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get this podcast out into the world and in front of as many people as possible. And, you know, Ambitious Fits is more than a brand. You know, we have an apparel brand. We have, you know, investing opportunities. We have different ways that you could go ahead and get involved as well. It doesn't have to be just through fitness or just through supporting through the apparel or anything like that. And coming up in March, just so you guys know, we're launching a mentorship program. We're teaming up with as many business professionals in the real estate world, in the, you know, financial world, in the apparel world, and just in general in the business world. So, you know, we'll be launching that on ambitiousfits.com. And for everybody that tunes in, just don't forget to go ahead and use code Ambitious Podcast, and you will be getting 20% off any merchandise or anything on our platform, mentorship programs, anything like that. So again, Kevin, thank you so much. We will see everybody here on the next episode. We have some amazing guests coming up. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your guys' day, and as always, stay ambitious.